from Hawaii. We're in Maui now, and this is our first full day here. We got in yesterday, and it's about 87-degree weather. It's beautiful. So Mike and I are taking a little ride up the highway to north of Kanapali, and we're stopping at the beach area here and kind of looking what the shoreline looks like. So Mike can scan this little part and see what it looks like out here. It's beautiful here. The water is blue. It's just beautiful. Go ahead and scan the water so you can see. The wind has picked up in the afternoon hours here, but it's still really nice here. At the next stop, Mike said he will talk to you.
Yeah, I think you got us lost.
Well,
we're in the middle of nowhere. It's not even pretty. Well, anyway, hopefully we'll be out of this.
You're pretty stuck as you go along. That's all.
Here we are on this road.
It's kind of different. You see people just pulled over anywhere and just it's like seeing it's just not hard. Just the zooming in on faraway things. All the curves, it says blow your horn. It's like 15-mile-an-hour curves. Down there. 2 boats. See the boats down there?
No.
Kayaks or something?
Oh, all down there.
The red dirt over there. See if you can see the red dirt. Like it is when we're going to Greensboro. The red clay. But not all of Hawaii is that way. Some of it's red and it's back to black again. It's really pretty here. houses out here. It's kind of secluded. One thing you always smell is fresh flowers. There's lots of flowering shrubs everywhere.
Oh. Dangerous curves here. You gotta blow your horn. You don't want them to come into your lane.
And we're here on a golf course right here by the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. This is Napili Bay. It's just a nice little drive through here. Lots of nice little towns right
Here's
here.
Gil at the Maui Tropical Plantation. This is a tram ride through all kinds of things they grow here. Sugar cane, pineapple, what else? You name it, they got it here.
Macadamia nut.
Huh?
Macadamia nut.
Yeah,
Apple,
macadamia.
pineapples, mangoes, coffee.
Everything. We're about ready to take off.
My name is Lon. The next 30 to 40 minutes, I'll also be telling you about the Hawaiian culture as it does relate to various tropical industries that you will be seeing here in a tour and also on Maui on your vacation. So this time all you need to do is just sit back, relax, and most of all, enjoy the tour. And here we go. It's most popular agriculture. The crops and fields that you're about to see here, they're all introduced by early visitors and settlers from all over the world. One of those early visitors was a Spanish horticulturalist by the name of Don Marin. We have the sugarcane grabber. This giant piece of machinery plays an important role in harvesting of our sugarcane. Anthropologists believe that sugarcane was brought here to Hawaii over 1,500 years ago with the Polynesians. Hawaiians and other South Pacific islanders do not eat sugar like we do. They simply chew down the sweet stalk and also use the sweet sap to mix with their medicine, making it taste much better. Not compared to a forest fire, but it is well controlled. The burning process is used to get rid of all the leaves and underbrush within the field. Everything is burnt, even our irrigation lines. The only things that are left standing are the cane stalks, only because they're made up of 75% water. Packaged and distributed nationwide. Here in Maui, we can yield about 14 tons of refined sugar per acre. Now, as we move along, you notice acres, rows and rows of trees here. Those are our coconuts, but we're going to be focusing our attention on those little spiky plants growing on the ground in a triangular rock formation there. They are Hawaii's second largest agriculture crop, and in Hawaiian it's called hala kahiki. And if you guessed it right, yes, those are pineapples. But there was a wooden sign there that was probably a dead giveaway. Here in the islands, we all decided to grow one variety, which is known as a smooth cayenne variety pineapple. The planting material, as you can see there, was the crown of the fruit. Snapped off the top, then planted into double rows. So imagine how much pina colada you can get from all those plants. A lot. Tea, not to be mistaken with drinking or herbal tea. In ancient Hawaiian times, the red tea plant was used to extract a red dye, but today they have no other use other than ornamental. The green, however, had more diverse use, such as hula skirt making, lei making, whether they be twisted, shredded, or braided. Anti leaf is still considered good luck here in islands. Some of the locals have them grown in the back and in front of their doorways, believing it's what evil spirits. And a farmer may get up to 20 cents per leaf if he grows them agriculturally. Now as we move along, you look here to the side, you notice this blanket of trees here. They're called the vili vili. And in Hawaiian, vili vili, it means to twist or to turn. So if you look carefully in between the branches there, you see them naturally intertwining together. Perhaps it might symbolize love or friendship. Here we use them as crop dividers and windbreakers. And if no pruning is done, they will grow up to 60 feet tall. In the States, they're known as Pacific poplar. Now there are many types of fern trees grown throughout the whole wide world, but I believe none will compare to Hawaii's own Hapu'ua fern tree coming up here to your right-hand side. These champion tree ferns here will grow wild in a rainforest area, adding a brilliance of green of 16 to 35 feet, and also spanning 15 feet in circumference. The early Hawaiians would eat the young and unopened flowers, which are considered a wonderful source of food, pure starch like potatoes. The young fronds are then woven into hats, and the long brown hair. They were growing in commercial hothouses way back in 1893. Next to Plumerias, these vanda orchids do rank one of the most commonly utilized flowers in Hawaiian lay-making today. We're doing those small package sections of them sold and available in a country store. They are agriculturally inspected, stamped with instructions on the back, and ready to grow, just in case you want to start your own tropical garden. Known as the fake bird of paradise or the lobster claw. Their herb plants grow 3 to 20 feet in height. They're down in the musa, or banana family, which need a lot of water, taking 18 to 24 months before they mature, then flower. Although most heliconias are native to South America, the best species are grown right here in Hawaii's own soil, blooming in many beautiful and vibrant colors. And just like the heliconias, they do not have a fragrance unless they're crushed or bruised. And here to your right, you'll notice this tree that looks rather bare, some a couple of late bloomers. This tree has 3 names. It's called the star fruit, carambola, and also known as the 5-fingered fruit. It gets its name.
Can't smell anything.
What is that?
The coffee beans.
So what do you think? You must a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Because if there's no water, it might be rotten, and if I crack it open, it would like go all over everybody and all the tops of the meat. And it doesn't smell good either. Okay, welcome everybody. I'll be doing the coconut husking demonstration, only because there's no tool that can successfully husk a coconut. You can determine the actual size or shape of the inside. Everyone husks coconut nowadays, men, women, children, cracking it open at the same time. There's also a woman on this island. She lives on the south side. I forgot her name, but she holds the record for husking a coconut. She can do it in 2 minutes. 2 minutes is not good to 6 seconds, right? But there's a catch. She does it with her teeth.
Yeah, I saw it on a plane. Yeah.
Then after you completely husk the coconut, it should be thick fibers located on top there. Now if you attempt to hit the other holes, with the eyes of the monkey's face, all you'll be hitting will be a coconut shell. And the monkey will get mad and spit coconut water at you. In the seam, with enough force, a hairline crack should form an opposite end. Follow that crack until you got 2 even halves. And if you can't remember where to hit it, just remember what David did to Goliath. He threw the rock right between the eyes. So you gotta find right between the eyes. And oh, it hit you? And there you go, you got 2 even halves. Or somewhat even. Now this time there's 2 methods in taking out the coconut meat. You can use a butter knife or a paring knife. A lot of old-fashioned elbow grease to work it right out. Or you can do it the more conventional way. Stick it in an oven, in a microwave.
In 1908, and has been the floral emblem of that city ever since. But right in front of the Hong Kong orchid, we have the heavenly and fragrant plumerias, Hawaii's best loved and favored flower for lei making. They're native to Singapore, and in the East Coast, they're called Hawaii's tropical brilliance. In Hawaiian, it is known as Kua Kepalo, which does mean ghost flower because of their transparent petals. As you can see, they make beautiful hedge work, and heavy pruning is required to produce much more brilliant blossoms. These plants do not need much to grow, at least 60 to 70 degrees all year round, and a little bit of water. That means they thrive on your neglect. Perhaps if you got a brown thumb, that could be the perfect. Will take 8 to 15 months to bear their fruit, and they'll continue bearing fruit for you all year around. That's why if you look here to your right, you'll notice that, and most of them are native to the East Indies. On the plantation here, we grow mainly the dwarf Brazilian variety, which is locally known as the apple banana or sugar finger. As you can see there, they're small, averaging 4 to 5 inches in length. They have a sweet and tart-like flavor. They're also don't oxidize like. Now these plants are also known to be the largest herb plant in the world, taking 12 to 15 months to mature and bear their first fruit. And they live to bearing one stalk of fruit or flower during its whole lifetime. And those large purple pods you see hanging each stalk there, that is the flower. After the 3-month period, they'll develop to the fruit and then be harvested. And after that time, the plant will then die. And when the sun sets, they're used as a navigational device by early sailors and folks. That's how they probably got here and found the island. Now as we exit this field, we say, "Ahui ho mai a" to our bananas, which in Hawaiian does mean, "Goodbye, bananas." And we now say aloha to our avocado.
Aloha.
The avocado is known as pea, and here we do have a few grafted varieties, only because those grafted varieties will produce a better quality avocado than the common seedling. In doing so, for the next 25 years, these trees, if left to grow in the wild, they may grow to a towering height of 60 feet, and that's why pruning is done in our field here, to control the height. 4,000 years, which is really long. It'll take them 5 years to bear their first fruit, and they'll continue doing so for the next 100 years, just as our coconuts. And because they are related to the cashew family, they may grow up to a towering height of 70 feet, which is just as tall as a windmill here, coming up to your right-hand side. Here we have 2 acres of Hedin, White Paris, Shibata, and the Kingston 10 variety. The mangoes will usually take the shape of a kidney, growing to the size a little larger than that of an apple. Raise your hand if you're a macadamia lover. I like honey roasted. Now they've enjoyed probably the shortest and the most spectacular growth history of them all. It was first discovered in Australia, down under, by 2 botanists who gave its name, macadamia, from their philosopher friend John McAdam. But the industry really did not take off until over 50 years ago, when George Denison invented the macadamia nut cracker. You see, the shell is very thick, about a quarter inch, and they require at least 300 pounds of pressure per square inch to crack it open. And folks, it's not that easy to do without crushing a delicate nut from the inside. And do not attempt to crack it open with a nut cracker either. Why? Because that's just like putting in a loaded gun. That deep into this valley, there's a cave that houses a conch shell when it is blown upon times of battle or gathering of the people. And as you can see there, the largest hump to your left, that is his crown, next is his brow, his nose, and lastly will be his chin. Now after the tour is done, you can visit our tropical restaurant. You find a la carte from 10:30 to 3 o'clock, buffet from 10:30 to 2 o'clock. We also have delicious macadamia cream pie on top of our dessert menu, so at $3.95, and also has an incentive to throw in a copy of the recipe for you to take home.
You gotta try this. You're gonna lay down and be like a dragonfly. Ready? Go. Dragonfly. Get your head in there. She's flying. You give up? I think you look a little stupid there. Dragonfly. How was that?
It was real fun.
Really? Was it worth it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying.
That was worth the price. Yeah. So what was that? Was that fun?
I didn't stand very long.
What's wrong? Huh?
Sorry.
We're in the museum
this
now.
now.
We're getting ready to go on a nature walk. We're at the museum now.
A nature hike here. Little rain.
And the Hawaii Nature Center, we own the land that the buildings are on, and we lease 30 acres Wailuku agribusiness, which exactly. You'll have the little seedlings and some of the saplings coming up, but they don't require a lot. So what they'll do is, you'll see there's a lot of these nuts on the ground. And these are from kukui trees, for example, this tree right here, which was here before the coffee. Some of the bigger trees here. And the seeds will fall, but because there's not enough light, they can't start sprouting. So this is why over time, if you let the coffee, it will spread and spread, and you'll lose every other tree but the coffee. And they actually do quite a good job of preventing erosion. So that kind of has, and it is a little bit of fall color. It's the only tree that actually turns red and orange when the leaves fall. They don't do that in the fall. They just finish the season practically. But it is a bit of color. And then the seeds here, these are the Falsamani seeds. The other name for this tree is the Indian almond tree. So you can see an almond shape, and they have a slight almond flavor. I know. Now these are those kukui trees that we looked at from the other side. Underneath you can't see that silvery cone on the top, but these are kukui trees. And it is very interesting when they get to be a grove like this area, and this is actually a very well-known kukui grove, their branches will twist like this to reach the sun. However, if you have a kukui tree on its own, with no other kukui around, it will grow nice and straight. Yeah.
It's torn between its siblings and the sun.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, move out of the way. I want to get some sunshine here. You got to share. So.
But you see that at the coast in Oregon, the trees are all weird and bent toward the ocean because that's where the ocean, I guess, breeze or something.
Right.
But they're all weird.
And
But they're all in one direction.
Okay. Right.
Here they're just kind of.
Here it's just whatever way they
whatever.
can get to the sun. We actually don't know too much about the specific site. There has not been any formal archaeological dig done here. The last reference to it that I could find was in 1906 when it was burnt down. Apparently there were too many rats, so they burnt it down. Now, what's interesting is we feel that these enclosures here, these circles, were probably enclosures for animals. Because they were breeding pigs, mainly pigs. And they could also have been used for sweet potato growing, because they did plant and grow their sweet potatoes in mounds, like this. Introduced by some hiker that happened to be eating cherries one day and dropped a pit, because this is the only one we've got. And it's been spreading around, so we kind of keep canning it here. It's a little sour.
Yeah, we have a pipe cherry tree in our backyard.
Okay, now this one,
It's a little bit.
it is.
They're harder.
You'll enjoy looking at these because they're very different. A little bit sour, but take a look at the shape of this cherry.
Oh wow.
See, it looks like a mini pumpkin, segmented like that. You're welcome to go ahead and try it if you like.
It's okay.
Okay. Would you like to taste?
No, thank
No.
God.
Huh?
Mama do anything.
Some people
Mommy likes it. Mommy likes anything.
I find
You eat it. 15 minutes later, I'll go get one.
I'm still back.
You're right. You're still there.
Looking back.
No, they are good. They just tend to be sour, and the couple that I've eaten are very sour, and a little too sour for my taste. What do you think?
Strange.
Yeah, see they're good
That'd
to
be
eat. They're just right across the stream here. Yep. Yep. Again, it was a windy day, and it just kind of fell over here. But it's amazing how quickly things in this forest start to decompose. Again, being a rainforest and the climate, it just goes and goes and goes. And as I said, I heard the singing of the tree as it falls into the river.
My tip.
Right next to the stream.
Yeah,
Nice.
right. Oh, it's so peaceful.
So what's happened here is this is a little tributary from the main stream, and it's been channeled off to make what we call lopi, or taro patches. Taro is the staple of all Polynesia, and you will have a chance to try it at your luau tomorrow, and make sure you take full opportunity. It will be presented to you in the form of koi. And koi poi looks like purple blue and tends to taste like purple blue. However,
So it's a natural
give it a
purple,
try.
huh?
Yeah, it
'Cause
is
we had the rolls today. I think it's purple. What was that?
taro flower.
Oh, I didn't try it because I didn't want
No,
purple
no.
dye in it.
No, it's
It's
natural.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
natural, and it just means that it was made with taro,
oh, interesting.
with taro flower.
Well, maybe I'll go back and get one. It was a all-you-can-eat buffet. I didn't have a purple one.
You'll get some tomorrow night. They always have
Okay.
them in the luau, so not to worry. But poi and taro is actually a very, very nutritious plant, and it is to Polynesia what rice is to the Asian countries. It's just got so many vitamins and minerals as a main staple for, or starch staple, carbohydrate. Now these leaves, they're still starting to sprout down here, but these leaves here with kind of heart shape, that's the taro that I'm talking about. And the part that you can eat the leaves, and actually the leaves are called luau. So you cannot have a luau without having luau taro there, because they like our program, so we do them back here and our leases in perpetuity. It's kind of a fine line. It is private property, but some people have grown up in the valley and are used to coming back in the valley. Plus we have here what's called Native Hawaiian gathering rights. So if you're used to coming and gathering and you're Native Hawaiian, you still have the right to do that. However, it is always nice to ask permission and to respect what's here because that was part of the whole culture. And what I found is that people tend to abuse this by saying, oh, well, yeah, it was a good place to come party in. And we'll leave all that. This is actually the latest introduction in this forest, and there's more of it because of the fact that the rats love to eat that fruit with all the seeds, and the seeds are spread everywhere.
You know the bird.
Oh,
If you have a chance, if it's at any of your buffets, have it. It's orange, but it's sweet, and it's like a peach, but even better than a peach. And it's big. It's not quite in season yet, but I always look forward to that season.
Well, we have fruit today. A fruit stand, but I didn't. It was up at the candy. Watermelon.
That it flowers, but you can see this one stays. It doesn't disappear like the shampoo ginger, so it's that much higher. Here, you can just see the old stalks from the flowers
Yellow.
last
They
year.
get more sun time
Yeah.
too, so they get bigger flowers.
But beautiful. If you ever get a lady with ginger, smell. So there's so many different types of ginger. They're wonderful things.
palm tree.
And in fact, considered very, very special trees. You had to have permission of the ali'i, of the chief, to cut down a coconut tree. You see, because this one is not coconut producing. This is a palm tree, but the coconut producing one is very special because a coconut can be survival. I mean, you've got your water in it, the coconut milk, you've got the meat in it, lots of vitamins and minerals, so you can basically live on a coconut. So, you know, you have to be careful when you cut down a coconut tree. It has to be with permission. But what was interesting about this palm tree, it is not coconut producing, and therefore must have been planted here because there aren't any other coconut or palm trees in this area. And the history behind the odd palm trees that we see scattered throughout the forest tends to be tied up with the hunting and the whole kind of religious outlook of the Hawaiians, in that they believed in nature. I mean, that they were part of the nature, and part of what they were here to do, and part of their responsibilities, or kuleana, was taking care of nature, and then nature takes care of you. And so in a way of thanking spirits for a successful hunt, if there could have been some hunters around here, they would have been hunting pig, and probably would have killed it around this spot, gutted it, rather than carry a full pig out. If you gut it, it's a lot lighter. So they would have gutted it, and then in the entrails would have planted a palm seedling. Again, as a thank you. What you take, you give back too. So it was that nice balance. Balance is very important in the Hawaiian. It gets in your coffee floor.
Where's your coffee?
Here there and in a big rainstorm, it really digs into the side of the river here. And it's going more and more exposed and eroded. And at some point, these trees are going to end up on the other side because there's not much holding them in there anymore. You can even see this winter we had a few big storms, and you can see where some of the Job's tears, that plant that you see over there, is still lying down because it got mushed in the rain, and it's still lying flat because of that. The other thing I did mention to you was that this whole valley was sacred because of the water, and the other thing that makes it very sacred is, and the reason why there was a kapu so that commoners couldn't come in here, were that the sides of these valleys were ancient burial grounds. For 600 years, the Ali'i of Maui were buried here in the sides of the mountains. And the Hawaiian belief system has to do with your mana, which is like your personal power, almost like chi, your life force energy. And you could give that, or people could take that from you by ways of, for example, stepping on your shadow, which, depending on how high up in rank you were, the higher up, if you stepped on a certain Ali'i of very high lineage, your life was forfeit just for having stepped in their shadow, or their shadow falling on you. And their bones. The bones were very important because it held your mana, and if someone happened to find an Ali'i's bone, they could get some of their mana, some of their power. And so the bones here, what would happen was when an Ali'i died, they would strip the flesh from the body and burn it, and then the ashes were deposited in a pool very close to here, a little further up, and then the bones were taken by a trusted friend or servant of the family, a retainer for the Ali'i, and they would go up into these mountains and find a burial cave and leave the bones there, and often stay there themselves. This way no one would know where the burial caves were. And because the Ali'i didn't want some commoner coming in, finding a bone, making a fish up from their bone, and getting some of their mana. See? So 600 years worth of burials. The last one was King Kekaulike in 1736. Now when Europeans started coming in and hearing about this, they of course wanted to go and do some archaeological digs and find some of these burial grounds. And they actually found no more than a dozen, which is nothing compared to 600 years worth of burials. A lot of that has to do with the erosion. You just can't get anywhere in these mountains anymore. And they weren't really meant to be found, so they're kind of preserved for all times now because no one can get back there. There used to be a way that you could get through this valley to the other side, which when you're heading back to Kaanapali today, around Olowalu area, this is where Iao used to be able to get out, and there used to be a path. You could hike through Iao to Olowalu and get out the other side. And that was actually important to know because the historic battle that took place in Iao, and this was when Kamehameha I wanted to take control over all the Hawaiian Islands and form a kingdom. And he came from the Big Island. And at the time we had a very fierce ruler here on Maui. His name was King Kahikili. And he had actually one whole side of his body was totally tattooed in dark, because they always use that dark brown, the kukui nut oil, with all kinds of geometrical, but the whole side of him was completely tattooed on one side. And he was pretty fierce and no one could kind of mess with him, but he was, some versions say he was away. My teachers told me he had died at the time, and his son, Kalani Kapule, was in charge, and Kamehameha thought, I can get him now because he's weaker. So he came over in full force with lots of canoes, came over to invade Maui, and the battle took place here in Iao, and they said that there were so many killed at that time that the stream ran red with the blood of all those commoners who were killed in that battle. And in fact, Kapanavai means damming of the waters, and that's damming due to all the bodies that were piled up. Now the Ali'i and his family managed to escape from Maui, and they did that by taking this path out over to Olowalu, and from there they got into canoes and went over to Oahu. Later there was a fight where Maui came back into control of Maui chiefs, and then after that Kamehameha I won and became the first king of all the islands, and had all the islands for the first time under control of one king. Oh, there's another bit of history. When Kamehameha I passed away, her son, Kamehameha II, Liholiho, became the king. And what she did, see, although she had all the power and she was high up there, she had such a generous heart. She felt that a lot of these kapu were dangerous for her people and were not good. For example, she would not travel at night, or she only traveled at night because she didn't want her shadow to fall on someone. And she, you know, if you broke a kapu and made it to her and pled your case, she usually would grant you her life. She, you know, compassion, kindness, caring for her people. And so what she did was she convinced her son to sit down and eat with her, because at the time men and women could not eat together. They had a common sleeping house, but they had they had the women's eating house and the men's eating house. Could not eat together. And she and her son sat down to eat. So of course right then, that kapu was broken, domino effect, everything fell apart. And that happened in 1819, and there was a whole year of having no system really in place, and the missionaries showed up in 1820. So when they came in, they were kind of right for coming into an area that didn't have their religious system intact anymore, and there was a lot of problems of what should be and what shouldn't be, and how do we work things. This is the way the stream should be. And then that intake system that was built, which diverted water from Eel Stream to irrigate sugarcane and now pineapple as well. You'll see the series of grates right here. And so the water goes into those grates, goes through tunnels all the way through the mountains and goes out to the sugarcane. Right?
It's 1 pound of water per pound of sugar.
It's a lot.
A lot.
Very, very
a lot
thirsty
of
plant. And so that's why down there you see all those rocks, very little water. Now, the other favorite trick of locals who want to come and swim here is they put down what they've got here, a little tarp. And so that blocks the water from going through the grates, goes into the favorite pool to fill it up over here. And obviously water people do not like this. They're a mountain down, but this is what we have on private there. It is.
So they're crisscrossing? Or they,
that's that balance
line.
Yeah, because there's a path through the road. A lot of them come down here, and a lot of people just grew up knowing this is anyway. So usually, if they're not bothering us, if they're respecting what's here, and it's not during program time, and we have the kids back here, we usually don't mind swimming because we go swimming ourselves, and it's a great place to swim. It's very, very cold. But you can see there's another little vent over here that leads to another tunnel. And that water that was gathered through the tunnel when we got off the bridge and the long pipe under the bridge, it's all part of the intake system, which is actually quite a feat of engineering for the time that it was built. And it's all built totally runs on gravity. And we have them all over the island that brings the water from the wet side to the dry side and all kinds of things. Unfortunately, they do take a lot of water out. So much that it changes the habitat for our stream organisms, the opu, the opai, and the hi'ibai, which you saw in the arcade, those tanks. Those organisms need to go out to the sea after the eggs have been hatched. And so usually the parent, nature does this, but the fish and the parents of the opai and the hi'ibai will sense when the water starts running, when the rains are coming. And that's when they lay their eggs in time for them to hatch and be swept out to sea. And then they hang out in the ocean for 3 months, and they're really, really tiny, and they have to come back upstream because their body chemistry changes. They got to get out of salt water, come into fresh water, and they have to make it all the way back up into the mountains over the waterfalls, and that's why they've got that. Oh, you got it? Well, there's a little, this is a native fungus. Take a feel of that one.
yeah.
But the fungus, it's an edible fungus. People come to collect this. And in Hawaiian, it's called pepeau. And pepeau is the Hawaiian word for ear. And you see where it gets it? Doesn't it feel like your ear? But it's edible. Yeah.
I'm not eating this one.
No, that one, don't know where that
So
one
just
came
laying
from.
there? I mean,
That one left it there. But as I was saying, you can see the difference with the age in that Haleakala is over 10,000 feet, 10,035 feet. And the West Maui's, Pu'ukukui, is 5,788 feet. So it's a lot less. It's a lot, it's shrunk with age. And they say Haleakala is 12,000. properly seeded it again. So it's just been eroding back. So my next bet is that stand of ironwood is going to be the next part to go. But eventually, yeah, it will all. Right now, that path that I told you about to go to Olla Walla, inaccessible. They say that there are parts here where it's 1 foot wide and 2,000 feet drop on either side. Not where you want to be hiking. So basically, most of these nuts are now inaccessible. You cannot get through. The last time they tried to get through, it took them a week. In 1963, they went through the last time.
Is it mostly rock?
Uh-huh. No, a lot of it, well, it's all rock-based, and then, of course, you've got some vegetation on them. And the higher up you go, the more natives you get. But you can imagine, 1 foot wide and 2,000 feet drop on either side. The edge of nothing. Banana plant, I guess, would be a better term. But inside the trunk, it's just layers and layers and layers of these leaves. It's like an onion. Levels of it. Yeah, so sometimes when these stalks get big and heavy and they're high, they'll just fold right over because they can't support the weight. And the trick is, if you have any of these trees on your property, what you do is you cut them down, and then a new one grows up through the old. After it's fruited, you cut the big one down.
Thank you once again. Aloha. At this time, I would like to introduce a very talented young lady, not only a student, but she is also a movie star. So I want to mention our lady here. This next song is called Beat Me. And you know, here in the islands, we definitely give our children a whole lot of respect.
Make him responsible.
Behave, hula girl, don't you play with me. My name is so dynamite, alien, now don't you wiggle, don't you wait, please don't you squirm. Can't you see that I might explode, so behave, hula girl. You're pleasantly plump and heavenly sweet and open lips so wide. The way you dance around and round make my temperature rise.
We're on the Atlantis. Going out to meet our submarine. Okay, Michael, you ready? We're going to go snorkeling, not today, but Friday. There's a mother and two daughters from Ohio.
And we'll be rocking and rolling a little bit. We'll get ready to board. Here we go.
Hey, we're in a submarine.
Underwater.
We're underwater.
まだ隣にパープルボートともう一つサンボートがついているけど、もうすぐその船が出ていきます。
Okay.
We shut the hatches and both boats are moving away from our side. Here we go.
Flight 9, Rocky, this is Charlie X-ray 346. You are pardoned. Over 105 feet, balance sounds good. You're clear to flotation guide. You're clear to
Roger, we are diving now. Bending 3 and full. 1354 intercept. Quarter fish identification cards. To the casual observer, you should be able to see about 90% of the fish on that card on any of the dives that we do. On during the course of the trip. All the dark patches, those are all living Hawaiian corals. These are called stony corals for the most part. And they grow in depth of just a couple feet deep down to about 120 feet. The stony coral's existence is dependent on photosynthesis, on sunlight. So if you get too deep, the stony corals cease to exist. This first reef we're looking at is called plate coral. Plate coral reef ecosystem. As you can see, when you get a lot of reef, you get a lot of fish. So think about the reef as a big fish city, having evolved here and nowhere else on the planet. The little black and silver fish that are kind of round, those are called bacillus damsels. They're endemic, and they chirp like birds. So when you're down on scuba, you can hear the bacillus damsels chirping. And the bright yellow fish with a very long, slender nose, that's the long-nosed butterfly. The Hawaiian name is the Lauwili Wili Nukunuku Hoi Hoi. The eye, if they've got a big buggy eye, that means they're nocturnal feeders, as opposed to day feeders or diurnal fish. So all the nocturnal fish right now. And as you might imagine, it takes millions upon millions. Sorry, it's a kedge anchor. It's heavily encrusted in coral, indicating it's been down here for at least 100 years. Kedge anchor. The island, you'll find that your teeth are now kind of orange. That's the fluoride in here keeping fluorescing under the ultraviolet light. And the first bandana that Amy's holding up appears to be black or indigo. You might see moray eels. There's a couple morays that live here. So we're looking towards the top of the reef for those
Black and
guys.
white stripe one on it.
And there's the characteristics
Zoom in real close.
of it. There's a beautiful male parrotfish, green and purple iridescent skin right over the top of the reef. And that green tail at the surface is pink. Down here at 100 feet, it appears green. That's because of the ultraviolet light. If you cut yourself down here on scuba, you'd be bleeding green blood like Mr. Spock on Star Trek. It's really weird. Notice how all the ta'api are pointing in the same direction? That indicates the current, that they're pointing into the current to help them maintain station alongside the reef. There's a spiny pufferfish. Spiny puffer, he's not puffed up right now because he's not threatened by a predator. Were he threatened, he'd puff up to about the size of a volleyball. Spiny puffer.
この海藻はちょっと面白い。アジが出てきました。びっくりしましたね。黄色、オレンジ、最後は赤です。ね。
Planning your vacation, don't hesitate to ask on the way back. We'll be back in the slip in about 15 minutes.
皆さん帰りなさい。よろしければ隣で潜水艦が沈めます。最初にタンクから空気出して、その後There they go, you guys. They vented out, they released the air ballast out of the tanks, and once the air ballast is out, the deck should be pretty much level with the surface right now, and positively buoyant. So actually, push the stuff down, these thrusters, right now the vertical thrusters are activated. You can see the prop wash coming out. Head down. And we're going to make our way back to Lahaina.
going by.
Shopping mall here. Mike's getting used to the shopping part. And this is where we're going to eat lunch. It's the little courtyard. I don't know if you can see the fish in there. There's a fish. This is the little pond right there, right in the middle of the courtyard. Everywhere you go is like a tropical paradise. Shops on every level. And this is right across from the ocean. Well,
but I hope and pray. Your magic eyes, your friendly aloha, your people, their smile. Green valley, bright rainbow, warm water so blue. How perfect your beauty, how paradise true. I love you, Hawaii. I love you, Hawaii. Hello, thank you. Thank you very kindly. Before we go any further, please put your hands together for our hardworking musicians. They call themselves Koa. And I'd like to welcome you all to the Royal Lahaina Luau. Aloha! That wasn't too bad. Well, we gotta get real busy here because you're at a luau and you're supposed to be hanging loose. So let me see those hang loose signs, cousins. All right, I see some of you doing this though. Sweetheart, this is definitely incorrect, all right? It's the pinky and the thumb. And that means to hang it loose and don't ever do this because this means hang over and it's all over, guys. Tomorrow you can do this. One more time, aloha! Great, keep on drinking. Well, it gets much better that way somehow. And I want to share the spirit of aloha with you. So please turn to the person on your right and give that person a great big hug and kiss. And now you can do the same on the left. Give that person a great big hug and kiss. Where did you go? I'm ready. All right, easy. I just said a hug and kiss. Boy, we got a friendly group tonight, huh? And this is great. I got two guys looking at each other and they just don't know what to do. Don't worry about it. Shaking hands is all right too. At this time, I would like to invite you over to the imu ceremony, which is located on the ocean front of our property. What's going to happen is we're going to bring the kaluapua'a, or the roasted pig, out of the underground oven. So you don't want to miss this event. Bring your cameras with you and head on over to this side with lauhala mats. These lauhala mats are woven from the pindanish tree. In modern times, we use more conventional materials like burlap and canvas. Great. On the count of 3, they will lift or hapai the kaluapua'a out of the imu. So get your cameras ready. 1, 2, 3. Hapai, and there you have it, the finished product, the kaluapua'a. Please, a round of applause for our hard-working villagers. Ahalo. Aloha, Tito, and this concludes our imu ceremony. I'd like to invite you back to your tables. Tonight we also have a bar that's going to be open for the show and done this evening. Your bartenders tonight, we got David and Norman. Give them a round of applause, please. Because they're going to take good care of you tonight. And just a reminder, those of you, all they're going to do is called Papalina Lahi Lahi, and it speaks about your rosy cheeks. So sit back and enjoy the hula. Let's dance, ladies. Hello, ya oe lako, papalina lahi lahi. Hello, Maui, ke o piu e hanoi kaula la 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 mai la mai mana la ko papa lagi lagi mai la ho mana la lo our lovely Emily and Kua. Mahalo, ladies. All right, now that you've seen how the hula's done, how many of you are in a party mood? Let me hear you. Keep on drinking, guys. You're getting better. All right, where's all the newlyweds? Honeymooners, let me see the show of hands, please. How you doing? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You've been married for 40. That's okay. Honeymooning is supposed to do that to you. And where are you both from? Florida. Nice to have you. Aloha. Hi. How many days have you both been married? 2 weeks. And you are from? Arizona. Welcome. Aloha. Hi. Has it been like a couple days, 1 week, 12 days, and you're from? Utah. Welcome. We're going to start with the kahola step to the right. Here we go. Begin. Kahola to the right, kahola to the left. Going to the right, now on the left. Come on, newlyweds, move your hips. They should be in condition already, newlyweds. Well, what do you think about my friends? Give them a round of applause, please. Very nice. Okay, now the second step is called the ami. We're going to pretend to go around the island of Maui, and Wailuku will be to your right. Now we're going to take the winding roads to Hana. I see some of you have been on that road, huh? Welcome back. Directly in the back of you like this. And then left to Kihei, back home to the front to Lahaina. This is why we love Lahaina. No, I'm kidding. Wailuku. Hana Kihei Lahaina Wailuku. Hana Kihei Lahaina faster. Come on, big circles. Don't look at me. Follow me. Come on, guys. Move it. Move it. Faster. Faster. My Irish friend. I don't know what that is, but it sure is interesting. Please give them a round of applause. They're great sports. At this time, I'm going to introduce you to your instructor. Once again, our lovely Emily. Please say aloha. Emily, why do you lahaina? All right. Now that make your fish. This guy's are going. Who your next in? Whoa. Gentlemen.
More than home, don't bless your early shell.
I have to tell you, I'm left-handed, but I'll be...
The other islands. Molokai nui a hina. Lana'i a kaula. Ka ho'olawe. Ko he mālamalama a kanaloa. O ahu alua. And Kauai ka mawai lualani. The last of the island offspring was Ni'ihau. Then the Earth Mother became barren. No more land. With the sound, aloha no, aloha no. No e ka ha'a o puna e nei ka lehu o akakalani na kakahonua. O pana ewa, o hia loloa, o hia uli uli ka ua e. O pana ewa, o hia loloa, o hia uli uli ka ua e. O pana ewa, o hia loloa, o hia uli uli ka ua e. E motu te Ulihia ka mauna vela I ke ahi e, vela mo ano pukau kau puhi hanale, e a poha atu I lele mai I uka e, ke tako I toho o ke le mai ka ulihia ka mauna vela I ke ahi e, vela mo ano pukau kau puhi hanale, e a poha atu I lele mai I uka e, ke tako I toho o ke le mai ka lua e, e iwe hano e, ulihia ke ale ula, ulihia ke ale ula I ke ale lani, ka puko a I ke ahaka, e ahu o lono, e lono ane, e haukui e iwe hano e, e iwe hano e, e iwe hano e, e iwe hano e.
Thank you. Thank you very kindly. We began our show this evening with the hula kahiko, or the ancient hula. Our ancestors were governed by a very strict religious system called kapu. And shortly before the kapu system was abolished, the missionaries came to Hawaii, bringing with them Christian religion and fine moral upstanding values. And soon they changed our standards of living. If not for the efforts of our last reigning king, David La'amea Kalakaua, the many hulas that we know and love today would have been lost forever. For the modern-day hula that was perpetuated by King David Kalakaua. As we continue our historical journey through the hula, enjoy yourself this sweet Lahaina night on our ocean stage, featuring our lovely soloist, Emmy Lane. On the world-renowned TV skirt, once again the Royal Lahaina dancer doing you, Leana Omo Maui. The forest plants, who were the earth children, were also angered, for they were unable to flourish and grow. The children devised a plan and set it into motion as their parents slept. The sky children would grab hold of their father, while the earth children would grab hold of their mother. They would work together to hold them apart and enlist the help of another brother, the wind, to blow between the two parents and keep them apart forever. We believe the rain is the tears of sky falling. Thank you very kindly. Now that was our lovely doing for you, the legend of the rain. There are many beautiful songs written in Hawaii, but none more beautiful than the Hawaiian wedding song, or what we call Kikali Ni'au. So we'd like to take this time out to acknowledge all the newlyweds once again. Honeymooners, I'd like for you to stand and be recognized once again.
Sweet perfume fills the air, caressed by the sun, kissed by the falling rain. Welcome to my land, a leg of island flowers. Happy smiling island folks with flowers in their hair. We have no gems to offer you, only a flower land. White, bring to my land away. A leg of island flowers. Pretty blossoms bloom everywhere. Sweet perfume fills the air. Caressed by the sun, kissed by the falling rain. White, bring to my land away. A leg of island flowers. A leg of island the moment of sweet aloha. I Je t'aime.
we realize, well, that our visitors don't have very much time to spend here. And we're sincerely grateful that you took one night out of your very busy schedule to spend it here with us at our home by the sea. We want you all to take the spirit of aloha with you, and please give it away, because aloha is love. So till then, take care, stay well, and God bless you all. Aloha. Mahalo, thank you, the men and women of the Royal Haina Luau. And a round of applause for our song and light technician, Brother Niles. Mahalo, thank you. And a thunderous applause for Brother Ono and our service people who took good care of you all night long. And our very talented musicians. Oh, the man responsible for our show, our stage director, and my handsome talented brother, Mr. Frank Kabaika Hewitt. And our very talented musicians, Maui's own co-op.
Once again, lovely and talented Maui's own.
Take care and good night.
Yeah, it was. Very good. Pineapple juice, Dad. Good pineapple juice, Dad.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I just had the punch.
I have pineapple juice.
Your pitches are ready at the exit of our luau grounds. Take care. God bless. Aloha. Good night, folks.
Over. It's only 8 o'clock. Like, I got the you. You go there with the one that you pick the coconut. Thank you. Here on our way to Hana, and we stopped at this little Maui grown market. And we got us a picnic lunch. And we got submarine sandwiches in there, and pop and candy bars, and a cassette on how to get to Hana.
The Puea owl has a special significance to the Hawaiian people, being an Amakua. Amakua are a protective family or personal spirits, and are said to be the soul of a favored ancestor who has taken the form of an animal, often a shark or eel or the Hawaiian owl pueo. If a Hawaiian war party saw the pueo,
First trail off the Hana Road. Bill's a hiker. Wear our bathing suits because we don't know where we might go swimming here. I don't know. Look at big trees.
I know it. Ready? Having fun?
Yeah, bet. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, let's do it. Mike. red and green and weird. We're at the Arboretum now on the way to Hana.
Oh, stranger neck.
Yeah. Oh, here we go again. We're just following a trail to the Arboretum. So there'll be lots of pretty flowers and
Too big.
The next photograph begins with a continuous journey after the Wailua Overlook. Please turn the page.
Good job, I'll take a picture.
How are you going? Come on, come on. Back that way.
I'll take your picture.
Hey, Gail. There she is. One of the isolated places way down off the road here. Rich people like George Harrison had a place to, a lot of places to live off the Beetle. A good spot for picnic lunch. How about right here?
Huh? See what we got for lunch.
It's right on the cliff. You can't go too much farther out there. Hold on to your hat. Go down the cliff, Gail.
Okay. We ordered sandwiches. Mike got a tuna and I got a turkey on wheat. And we got, I forgot what these are called, green bars or something. And we got a candy bar. And Mike got a sun-kissed orange and I got a Dr. Pepper. We got 2 chips. And so $8.50 a piece. And we get a free cassette tape of The Road to Hana. So it tells us all the little stops to stop at. This is one of them too. So it's a nice little lunch. And get the cooler with it and ice. So.
Good deal. It's a good place for way down the bottom of the road here, like I said. It's a pretty place. Not everybody comes down this road. Isolated. There's no beach here. It's just all beautiful rocks. Yeah.
Don't always take me.
Yeah.
There's Mount Green into the rock eye.
This tunnel here. Burial site. Black Sand Beach. Huh? This is Black Sand Beach at a distance.
Oh, we've got a fish. Oh,
Oh, see how
is Black Sand Beach beautiful?
kind of cold, huh? World. Huh?
That's not.
Kind of cool, huh?
Yeah, that's not bad to get used to. Cold in the distance.
a good breaker there. Over there. You might as well get the date off of here. Stiff sun. This is just the iris. Brighter goes darker. All the palm trees. Autofocus goes in and out.
Right, we're going down through some caves here at Black Sand Beach.
Hopefully it won't fall on you again.
I know. Looks like some of that stuff could fall right down. Yeah. The wall looks really clear. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's gonna start coming.
First fall, way away. Okay.
Hi there. Well, we've had a full day of shopping, and we've got souvenirs for lots of people, so hopefully we'll get it back on the plane. It's a beautiful sunset. We just pulled over inside the road here on the way back to the hotel. It's wonderful here.
Very beautiful fish too. There's been a lot of them coming in. I've had about a week and a half off, so last time I was on, we caught 2 of these guys. Really, really good fighting the fish. Beautiful fish. And marlin. Marlin are not as common. From what Captain Mike says, they saw one yesterday, possibly one. What they do is when you get a lot of rubbish in the water like we have been having, larger tuna, the smaller tuna schools will come in feeding off the small
Common thing, like I said, about 5 of them. And I'll tell you about our dive site there. So as soon as we get there, we turn, tie up the boat, and you're in the water, snorkeling, making the most of it. Here's what it is. It's, well, real briefly, up there, you can see the third bump from the left, 10,023 feet high. Okay, that's the summit of Haleakala, and that's 10,023 feet above sea level. We're just about sea level, right here, but the sea floor is 400 feet down, and it comes back up here at Kaho'olawe, about 1,200 feet high. So that's the whole thing. It's a big valley, and Molokine's right in the middle of that. When it erupted, it was probably cone-shaped, but the strong tidal currents have washed it all away. So all you have is the core of the volcano now. If you went up and swam up to the side, you could literally touch the island, and your feet would be dangling in 300 feet of water. Imagine that. Who's snorkeled before?
Yeah, you watch the snowfall. Yeah. Just dip it, shake it out, and you guys will be set.
Mike has the optical ones because he can't wear his glasses under there.
Just a little bit of salt water, not bad.
I'll let Mike test the waters first before I go out.
To the fish?
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah. I don't know if it'll get it or not.
Yeah. Bring her in.
Okay, guys, bring her in. Come on up, ma'am. I'll take that map. Perfect, thank you.
Did you see it?
It's off the side, left-hand side, it's underwater.
We're right now looking for a dolphin. Mike is going to go grab Dad. You're going to go get the battery? Oh!
Dolphin. Volcano, yeah. Well, shanties up on the shoreline there, that's Wailea Point condominiums. And the white thing over here is the Kealani. The blue roof building is the Four Seasons Hotel. And the larger white flat top building is the Grand Wailea. The kind of built-in hotel across the bay from us that's got all the trees really grown in well. That's the Outrigger. They just bought that from the Aston, I guess. Before that it was the Intercon. Outrigger's a local hotel company. So these Wailea Point condos, they're about $2 million each. There's 4 units per building. So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I still like how almost how they
We get all of them out so they can be one big happy family. As long as you hold still, number one. Number two, see this mouth? Your spines aren't poisonous. They can't hurt you. The only thing that can is a dart inside of that mouth. You never hold it with the mouth pointed down, always hold it with the mouth pointed. See it moving? It's looking for something to lock into place. These guys live in shallow reef areas. You guys might have seen them in Molokini.
Okay,
all
let's
over.
hold on my hand.
Okay, it'll show Liberty. I want a big hand for my volunteer, guys. Now this is using the bathroom in your head too.
Okay.
It's disgusting. I've never seen that happen. Comes off. Their actual color is brown or gray, not a red. Missionaries used to take these guys, break off all the spines, and use them to write on stone. That's why they're called slate pencilers. Lots of useless information. That's all I'm full of. Looks like the bottom of the ocean. The bottom looks like the sky, the surface. From the side, looks just like the other side. It really means nothing. I want you to listen to something. Keep that in mind. I'm going to ask you something about that later. Now you guys follow after me. Are we ready? Ready. Okay. You should follow after me. Humu humu. Nuku nuku. Here comes the hard part. Apua. All together now, follow the bouncing fish. Apua. What you just learned how to say means? Jumping fish. Close. Fish that grunts like a pig. You heard me. See, it grunts like a pig. It also means piece together. What happens is this fish will vibrate its swim bladder underwater, creating and grunting to scare away predators. Once he lodges himself in the holes, he does it. You can see his pectoral fins moving real fast. That's when he's doing it. He'll make all kinds of noises underwater to scare things away. Also to attract mates. Cute little guy. What's my name? Watch, I'll say it with you. I've been doing this for you.
Want to move up?
Thank you.
Big.
Next to turtle is the only other thing that reminds me is
We're looking for sea turtles now.
oh, what do they call them?
Turtles coming up right
Oh, right next to the
They get real big.
You know, every else
yeah.
I'm like,
Oh, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. What's it called?
Real ugly.
Yeah.
I probably would.
What is it? What is that? The lizard? The ugly one? The one Jeffy liked?
Oh, an iguana.
Yes,
My son.
an iguana. To me, that's like the only other looking prehistoric thing left.
You haven't seen these fish that I'm talking about?
No.
They get a 12, 14, prehistoric looking.
Yeah.
Very ugly.
I had
a guy one
Well,
time.
there.
He cracks open a beer shotgun. His friend cracks open a beer. He takes a sip.
Yeah, my sister and her husband have one.
His friend threw up.
Yeah, it's a real big cage. He's as long as their bathroom. Yeah, except these are big. And that's where the reason why they're all
11.
Hello. Come on in. I'll introduce you to our room that we've had all week. And today is our last day here. We thought we'd better film it today. We should have filmed it before we messed it up. But this is our little dining area. I'm on vacation, so forget the mess. And we have a kitchen, an open kitchen here that's completely furnished. I bought some stuff like bagels and muffins and orange juice that we have. We have a coffee pot, a toaster, and all the cookware, and dishwasher. Then our living room, we have a very nice L-shaped couch, which is also a bed also. So we could have brought the kids, sorry. On the TV they have a visitor channel that tells you what you can see on the island, so that was really nice. And then on our little lanai here, it's a double wide door. We have a table and chairs and a lounger chair. And it's really, really bright because the sun sets right over the beach here. But see, you can see the beach hall. It has a little restaurant down there in the center, and it has two pools, one behind the beach house, and then we have a pool over here to the left. The palm trees are just really pretty. There's a little breeze blowing here all the time. We have lots of lounge chairs. People can sit in the shade, or they can be out in the sun right next to the ocean. Can you get to the ocean? Can you see the ocean like that? Are you still going to So the sunsets every evening right here. We can see it right off our deck. It's beautiful. No. Yeah, I do have more clothes. I'm usually just in my beach cover-up the whole week, really. So at least I can dress up today. Okay, let's go back here to the... They have nice pictures everywhere. It's really a nice place. This is our little air conditioner unit. Big closet. We have we didn't use it, but they have a safe. Our bathroom. So shower and the whole works. Has a nice little mirror. I might have one of those at home that swings out. Okay? And I'll show you our bedroom. Hold on. Master bedroom. We have a king-size bed. And come over here to the window so you can see what comes out the window here. We have the same view of the ocean and everything right outside our window here. It's really bright. But we've been keeping our windows open all night, our sliding glass door and our bedroom window. The only problem with this one is it won't open any more than that because people can fall out. So we can only open it that far. But we still can hear the ocean and get the breeze. It's a nice little breeze. We didn't even make up the bed today, and we told the maid. They just came in before we came back from our snorkeling cruise. What did you have it? Let me go ahead and say.
What were you going to say?
Okay. This morning it was really fun. They picked us up at 6 o'clock here at the hotel, and we went to the harbor and went out on a snorkeling cruise. And our first experience snorkeling, it was just really beautiful. We do have lots of film of it. You probably have already seen it. We're going to take you outside now and let you see what Kanapali shores this Aston Hotel looks like from the outside. So follow me. Aston Kanapali shores. If you stick a K here for Kanapali. They kind of scan the other side over there and the entrance how we have to get in every day. We had a rental car for the whole week, so that worked out really good.
In front of our hotel.
The little waterfalls.
A little one.
The filming crew is here.
Oh, yeah. Kind of an outdoor lobby here.
Tea leaves. It's supposed to bring you luck. And they have red ones and plain green ones.
outside of the lobby. There's the lobby. Kind of outdoor. This gal's packing up. Look at this.
Yeah, I thought we'd be lighter going back, but we got rid of the food in here. We had all food in here coming, and now we got all souvenirs going back. So we're not any lighter. In fact, we're probably just as heavier.
And now we have to go to another
Yeah,
island.
it's kind of sad.
We don't get to go home yet.
Leave this little paradise, I know. But
Well, it's sad to leave this paradise.
yeah, this little
Maui.
paradise is probably much better than Waikiki.
I don't know though. It's really nice there.
Yeah. It's a beautiful morning. So it's 8 o'clock and we're trying to pack up and get out of here. Our plane leaves in a couple of hours, 3 hours. So,
Gail has her souvenir shirt.
yeah.
How
You
about
wearing
that?
yours? No, you're not wearing yours.
I don't think I want to sweat it up.